Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion for the Sprint Season 1. This is round 6, coming to you from Snetterton in the lovely sunny, southeast coast of the UK. I'm Dom. Joining me in commentary once again is Jules. How are you doing?
Good. Was it Snetterton we couldn't see last time because it was all foggy? Is that the one? Or is that a different one?
Yes. No, I think it was particularly foggy at Snet, actually. That's a good remembrance. Was that Season 1?
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot nicer day this time.
Ago. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not realistic to British weather, so iRacing, come on, up the realism, please.
Yeah, it was nice today. It was like biblical floods the previous 2 days, but...
I think we got rained on up here this morning. I can't quite remember now, I'll be honest, but yeah, it's been a very wet few days, isn't it? Yeah, so any predictions for this one? We're doing the full layout, of course. You can see it on the track map there, the full 300 layout. So, yeah, what's your thoughts?
I need to see who's on the grid.
Of course, yeah.
How many races is it? This round 2? Yeah,
this is the 2-round format. Yeah.
Yeah, depending on who's going to be showing up.
I
think most have Snetterton, don't they?
Yeah, well, they made it free, didn't they, recently? But
okay.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the format for the 3-race format here, aren't we? But yeah, it is the 2 races tonight. So points will be just a little bit more than what's displayed on the screen just there. Although I think that was the points format for the 2 races. So I'm hoping by the time this reaches your eyeballs, our graphical geniuses might have amended that, so you'll just think that I'm talking rubbish. But nonetheless, here's the championship standings. Any noticeable or notable standouts for you, Jules?
Well, it's all pretty even. Top 3, Parker, Ward and Brown. Looking further back, there's a gap, there's a bunch there still at Stevenson, Leibold, pretty close.
That's tight for silver.
Yeah. Obviously, Alex Murphy and Chumalarin are a long way down.
Yeah, who were, P1 and 2 in the title last year, so neither of them have attended. They've attended a few of the races, but certainly not all of them, have they? So find themselves a long way down the standings. And we've got Gavin Kelly there leading the bronze charge. Got a healthy buffer from Meesters, but it's not unsurmountable.
Meesters seems to have closed it, but yeah, I mean, it's still pretty large. And there's a long way back to Miles in 29th there with 114.
Yeah, I'm forgetting from last time out of Road Atlanta. Did Rich race that and Kelly didn't, so obviously gained a load of points on it. So will have helped close that gap, of course.
And the other Kelly there now in Llamageddon with Zach.
The Llamas have descended and they're taking over.
Well, yeah, they wanted like what the Wizards had. So many Wizards. Now there's as many camels and llamas as there are Wizards.
Yeah, this is true. Although of course, league rules now sort of stipulate that you'll never be allowed. What is it? 6 teams the Wizards managed in the F4 season, or 5?
I don't remember. That sounds about right.
So never to be repeated, at least. So they'll never take that crown, at least.
No, it's limited now. But yeah.
See how to round out the championship there. I think we've noted it every race so far. But yeah, 50 drivers have attended so far for this season, which is a staggering figure to me, at least.
Well, next season we'll get more.
That's a bold statement, and I hope it comes to be true. So looking at the team standings, so obviously 2 drivers scoring for each team, so the gaps are a little bit larger than in the individual. SRL has basically been John Brown by himself, so that's a pretty impressive achievement to be P3 overall in the standings there for the teams.
Yeah, and Nebulama right up there. I mean, they're outscoring Formulama, so that's a bit odd. Would have thought Formulama would have been the A team.
I think obviously the team drops are calculated, aren't they, per round, and so I can't remember ever since Phillip Island actually both the Llamas being on the grid together. Did they both attend Nürburgring? And that might have been the last time.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Certainly, we've not seen Daniel Bond for sort of very consistently, if you like. So. Hope everything's all good with you, Dan. Hope to see you on the grid again soon. And minus points, of course, for Llamageddon.
Yeah, that would be Mark Kelly taking his penalty to them.
Alright, so they're stacking up on the grid then. So it's Murphy from Parker, Stevenson in 3rd there, and Ward in 4th. So surprisingly large gaps actually between the top 4 there, and by 5th place we're half a second for Maxwell, then Buller. Leibold, why have I forgotten? From Cook. Leibold or Leibold? I've completely had a mind blip.
Let's go with Zach.
Yeah, Zach, and then we got Kelly Chalcroft, 2 other defending champion, just outside the top 10, and Neil Todd. Sorry, Zach, my mind is elsewhere, evidently. Kev is 13th, and Daniel Bond is here tonight, so welcome back, Dan.
And that's Smart Kelly in the Larmageddon, not the 2 guys, 1 car.
Yes, that's true. I missed who was 16th on the scroll there, so apologies, but that was Chris White there, 17th, Rich in 18th there, Peter McIntyre in 19th, and Chris Forrester, the other McLaren, is rounding out the grid there in 20th, so quite a small grid actually to say this is a free track. Lights in the sky though, ready for action, and away they go. Is there going to be a classic Audi start from the front row? Muller in the Civic, we'll soon find out. It's 3 wide at the back there, someone got a particular post up. That is a ripper from the Audi off the front row there, so it's going to be Parker into the lead into T1. The rest look to have stayed pretty much status quo. I saw Maxwell dropping into 5th. Oh, Maxwell's gone further than 5th. He's way off the road.
It looked like he was being helped off the track there.
Yeah, it looked like it was across the nose of a llama. I'm not sure exactly who it was. Was it Clayton that was closest to him on the grid, so putting 2 together.
Yeah, Bond's down in 12th still running.
See it again on the inset there, so let's have a look. Probably focused in on that incident. We are. Oh, it just pulls away. You'll never know. If you immediately piling on the pressure there. So any gap that had opened up into T1 as soon closed back down again, and they're almost pushing each other through the corner there. The corners here, the corners on this track here, of course, all got names, so I'm sure we'll get those all wrong throughout this race and the pair of races.
Well, I mean, probably, even though they do label them pretty clearly on the track side there.
Yes,
I feel like more circuits should do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be good for the social media, like fans understanding the track as well. As Ture is pushing John Cook around the corner. Does it bum draft? Evidently.
Yeah, you'd expect it would. It's got a nice flat front and a nice flat back.
Indeed. Coming down to what I would say is the most difficult track on iRacing. Corner, sorry, on iRacing.
Yeah, it's such a tricky corner to get slowed down in the left to get the right. A lot of drivers will go off there.
Yeah, plenty of death in practice and qualifying, but everyone looks to have survived, although Chris Forrest is dropping down the order there and is red on the outside of that corner, so Grundle is the left and Nelson is the right. It looks like Chris is just on the outside apex of Nelson by the looks of it. But they're coming across the line for 1 racing lap complete, and it looks like everyone is still rolling, so GG's to everyone.
Oh, someone lost it into the corner.
Yeah, a little bit breaking on the grass there, the back end of Snetterton. That was maybe Peter McIntyre, and Chris White is just boxing, probably for damage. So, again, putting 2 together, that was probably the 2 that were involved there.
Say, Malaren's had a cracking start because he'd done the fastest lap on the first lap. You'd normally expect the leader to get the fastest lap because of field spread, but somehow Malaren got the fastest lap there.
Yeah, that's true actually. Was he just behind the Maxwell Buller incident though, so potentially had a bit of an air gap that he could close up into with the slipstream and that, so...
yeah, I would imagine so, yeah.
Sneak a fastest lap out of it. Because we know that it never does anything other than 100% anyway.
We're looking at here. Someone wandering wide.
Oh, nearly hit the back there. Was that Stevenson, or was that mistaken identity?
There's Stevenson there with Zach.
Yeah, Lee. We're going to go with Leibold. I'm sorry, Zach. Like I say, I completely forgot. I'm going to go with Leibold all over the back of Stevenson, so it's like another strong Civic track. It's good, isn't it, to be fair, like the extra balance, because the Civic was sort of the absolute dog car for so many seasons.
Yeah, I mean, what do we got? We got a nice mix at the front here. We've got Hondas, Hyundais and Audis all taking up the top 6 places, I think.
Which, of course, is how you'd see it IRL, so yeah, nice to see that they've kind of balanced it out a bit more. We've got Malaren up the inside of Cook there, and Cook controls over and has his belly tickle there by the looks of it, but might now be susceptible to Chalcroft. And yeah, there's Kev Eilert sticking his nose in as well, so Cook really under pressure here. Chalcroft lead in the way in silver, and Kelly, of course, in bronze, but isn't to the top 10, so good few positions away from Mises. We see on the inset. Is that Clayton recovering? No, because Clayton comes through there, so that was Bond off the track. So we've got a bit of a Formula Armour centipede going on now.
Yeah, maybe we see some team orders as Ward takes the purple for fastest lap.
We've got Leopold now up the inside of Malarin. Is he going to make it stick, or is that Malarin in fact around the outside of... Oh, Chalcross well wide. Good save. Boot full of acceleration to get the car pointing the right way again. But yeah, was that Malarin taking Leopold, or was that Leopold trying to get Malarin? I can't remember which way around.
Malarin moving up a place.
Yeah, making tracks through the field, and we've got a look at... oh, I just hit the curb on the inside there, did Chalcross. Yeah, good save for him. So a boot full of acceleration, and straightens himself out. There's a bit of a kiss there at the back end of Cook from... I think there must be an eyelet behind him there. Here we go again then, down to Hamilton, which will of course be the corner name that I shout out every lap because you can see it there on the screen. Easy. Not really an excuse for getting that one wrong, is there?
No, and Oggles there. Or is that Oggies?
I think it's Oggies, but that is Kev Eyelet. I think the camera sort of... I think that incident happened just behind the standings there, didn't I? Didn't quite see what happened. There was a bit of a netcode there as well between these two. Is that Mark Kelly getting past Cook? What is Cook happening here? What's happening to him?
I wonder if he's picked up damage. He seems to be struggling.
Yeah, it looks a bit slow in the straight line, but maybe that was just a loss of momentum coming out of the previous corner onto the straight. It's a super long straight here as well, isn't it?
Oh, look at the damage on that camel at the back as... hopping the curb.
Big corner.
Good. Yeah, that second camel... Sorry, not camel. Llama, there. Its bonnet is completely destroyed.
Yeah, again, didn't really see what happened there, and on the inset here, what we got... That's a mega run for Murphy. So that looks like it's going to be a change, is it? Towards the front? It's not showing it live on the timing. Yeah, they're going to be side by side. Oh, this is live, sorry, it's not a replay, so here we go. See them across the line, and here they take main screen, and it's Murphy around the outside. Cuts down, he's clear in fact, isn't he?
Yeah, Parker got a bit of a twitch there, mid-corner.
Yeah, the Audi has been particularly feisty, hasn't it, lately? Cynthia Amaran, wasn't it, when the update happened? We've got the Formula Armours. Is that a swap? No, it's still Buller. Oh, it's Bond in front, sorry, but yeah, the bloody nose on Buller. I didn't see it the first time round. That is not as the design intended.
No, and Bond is fighting tooth and nail for that position.
Well, they've got some team bragging rights to sort out, haven't they? There was a sort of a replay there of Eyelet getting spun, sort of coming across the nose of Cook there. What do you make of it?
It looked like Eyelet did a very late lunge into Cook, but got it done. Cook probably not really aware that he was there, turned in and looked like he went across his nose, so yeah, something for the stewards.
Yeah, so maybe already committed to the corner, and by that point this kind of contact was inevitable. We've got Kelly, I just saw shooting up the order, so he's up into 8th now, putting pressure on the silver leader, so I'm not quite sure what happened with other Kelly and Cook, because I think they're the two cars that he's just got past there, but yeah, another storming race for Gavin Kelly in this one.
And the battle of the Kellys.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some Kelly bragging rights on the line tonight as well. We've got almost... Well, when I'd last looked, it was up to 8/10 for the lead, so Murphy has got past and is pulling away. That Civic looks to be very well suited to the tight, twisty nature of this track and doesn't seem to then lose out on the straight too much. So, yeah, it looks good around here.
Of course, Murphy's missed races, so currently it's the rivals of Parker and Ward, really. With Brown, who isn't at this track.
Yeah, so that'll be another drop down for Brown, won't it? I think that will be all 3 of his drops as 0 score, so every point for Brown is his score from now on.
Yep, if he shows
Murphy,
up, yep.
Murphy probably missed too many. He's only here for wins now, basically, and he's putting a good challenge for this first race here this evening. Achieving that, we've got Stevenson here all over the back of Ward, so Ward potentially lost a bit of pace now. The short wheelbases definitely seem to be just that bit more comfortable around this very wiggly track, it seems.
It does seem to be the case.
But of course Civic taking the Audi for the lead, and now excuse me, we've got the it's a Veloster, isn't it, that Stevenson's in, all over the back of the Elantra. So long versus short wheelbase up and down the grid.
Okay, well, just making a recovery position there.
Yeah, generally had quite a lot of pace as Kev, hadn't he? But I think he's been unfortunate with his fair share of incidents since he joined as well. Was that Nürburgring onwards, wasn't it? for a lot of the SRL boys.
Yeah, that was the influx from SRL. Just a few
Looks
of
like
them
a
left
flood.
now as regulars. We've kept a few, it seems, as
Yeah,
Buller has
absolutely.
made it past Bond at last.
Yeah, it looked by force, like say, rather than team orders, so the bragging rights on this occasion belong to Buller despite the damage. And let's see if Bond can hang on to him. Steaming down then towards Brundle once again. Oh, there's contact in the background. I can just see there's a car facing
That's
backwards.
Williams.
And instant replay. Love to see it. And that's Bond having just been overtaken by his teammate. Who is that behind him on the track? Was that Williams into Williams? That's
I think it was Williams
isn't it?
into Bond. But anyway, yeah, looked like they waited very politely for Bond to get going again.
Williams the corner I was reading. Apologies. So Williams into Bond and Williams. As long as my trap map's correct, of course, which is never a certainty in this game. Yeah, across the line. So everyone seems to have like bunched out into pairs. So we've got the 1-2 pair, the 3-4 pair, the 5-6 pair, the 7-8 pair. It's just little duets all the way down the grid as they cross the line. And we've got yeah, Kelly's still heaping the pressure on Chalcraft. Looked like he got a really good run through T1 there as well. So Cook seems to have sort of stemmed the flow of the early losses. So yeah, definitely when they were going, oh, there's a bit of contact on the exit there. Looks like Kelly just cut back a little bit more than Cook was expecting. But yeah, so definitely when they were on the straight in the early laps, Cook seemed to be limited on his top end versus the cars, so you'd assume a bit of damage from somewhere. But yeah, seems to have kind of found a natural place to go race now and try and put a challenge towards what is at the moment the lower place of the Kellys. As we saw some more action with Ward and Stevenson. Ward are really clinging onto this, isn't he? And Stevenson putting as much pressure on as he can, but so far Ward is not cracking.
Sorry, I was just having a few
Do the
issues
straight
with
once
my
again
mic
for
there.
these two, and yeah, again the pair just behind them are still locked in combat. It's Malarin and Leeball still together as Stevenson's got a run. He's going to go around the outside though, which it's such a sketchy corner to try and go through by yourself. Never mind side by side, but neither look like they're going to back out. And Stevenson's going to send it. He's got ahead.
Oh, he hit the curb.
And that's allowed some more racing behind. That's Leebold has got side by side with Malarin. That's a change, isn't it, for those two? So
Yep.
Malarin has fallen, but is not giving up. Would you expect anything different? Absolutely not. And they're going to go side by side into the final corner. So does Malarin now cut back to get the better run down the straight? We know the Audi tends to be fast in a straight line anyway. Doesn't look to have got the better run though, so let's see what happens now. Horses for courses. Has the Audi got the better top speed? As that's unusual sight to see a TCR go spinning from a rear end lose like that. You don't often see that.
What a rejoin.
Sounds like Stevenson's not happy with someone rejoining. Yeah, no, Malarin didn't manage to get that done. Still following, and yeah, it looked like Mark Kelly, just turned around in the replay.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of sort of the lead up to that incident, see what actually happened to get that side. Like I say, you can sometimes lose them kind of mid corner on the brakes, but it's very unusual to see them just sort of spinning mid corner acceleration like that.
Indeed.
But they're still making tracks despite that front end damage. It looks absolutely hideous, that car at the moment, doesn't it? To say they've got such a fetching paintwork normally on it. Ain't job.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's still going. You would have thought the radiator would have gone or something.
You just expect smoke pouring out the back of it like some old sort of fighter plane or something.
He's still making progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cook with that little escapade for Stevenson's gained a position. And Mark Kelly spinning as well. So up 2 for Cook.
So Kelly's going to be getting dizzy how high he is up the standings.
Yet again. What's his highest result so far this season? He's had some storming drives, hasn't he? As much as I can remember.
I don't think he's managed the podium, but top 10 kind of, yeah, quite normal now. Oh, Jesus. So ugly looking with that nose.
It's not the prettiest, is it?
Let's just replay here. Oh, it's live, sorry. Need to read. I'm so used to it being a replay, now it's giving us live.
We had to feed the monkey so many peanuts to get the replays in the early season that
Given us
now,
too much,
now, yeah, now they're just a bit hyperactively giving us side-by-side live action, which is great, and that's Buller making the position on Todd, I do believe. So now to chase down the stablemate of Cook, who is a fair distance up the road. Say there's 4 to go this time by. But yeah, Murphy's still way out in the lead, and probably a comfortable gap for Parker to Ward there after Ward and Stevenson were battling for so long. Leebold hunting down. So he's just under a second, and then yeah, Malaren keeping Leebold honest as well there. Shalcraft versus Kelly, what do you think for the towards the end of the race? Has Kelly got anything for him, or is that superior handling of the Civic around the corner going to prevail, do you think?
Well, he's closed him up, and he stayed there, so I guess he's probably just seeing if Shalcraft will make a mistake now. It's still quite hard to get these cars past each other, and Kelly's not really used to these cars, because, as we know, open wheels with wings.
Yeah, I guess the most I'm trying to say, like the easiest way, I guess, we were trying to put pressure on him going down towards Brundle and yeah, force a mistake into what is a difficult corner anyway. But obviously we're a few laps into the race so far now, so you'd think the tyres are warm enough now that that wouldn't happen.
It's a very different corner to try and do anything in.
Yeah.
I think that you look at where you are and say, oh, I'm 7 places ahead of Meester's my rival, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
and
not take
Forrester
any
we
risks.
saw... Yeah, Forrester we saw having the issues early on. Well, like we saw him on the track now, didn't we? Stopped on the first lap on the exit of Nelson, so... Yeah, sort of a two-way battle in this one. Like I say, there's a good gap between Kelly in 7th and Meester's in 14th, so another big points haul for Kelly, and that will keep the swing well in his favour. As we've got Malaren is technically ahead on the standings board. There's the sweeping round T1. Leebold's got a healthy dose of curb, and we saw that make Chelcraft come unstuck early, but Leebold is still there this time as they head down towards the Montreal hairpin. It's Leebold on the outside, Malaren trying to hook it around the outside and stick his foot in, and oh, there's going to be contact on the exit. Leebold goes spinning. Whereas that car ended up, because it looked like it was about to bounce off the barriers. Here we've got it, a very quick live action replay. So Malaren on the outside, and oh, it just looked like he cut back onto the track just a little bit to get away from the grass, and yeah, contact with the rear end of Leebold, and that's a meatball for Leebold at P4 and a meatball for Kelly. So yeah, maybe that car did bounce back into the circuit. That is a disaster for 2 of the top 10 leading cars there.
Indeed, yeah, I mean, there really wasn't any space between those 2 cars. Maybe they could have left each other a bit more space, although Malaren at that point was off the track.
Yeah, and he was sort of behind the B pillar, behind the wheel almost, wasn't he, of Leebold? So yeah, unfortunately, maybe just thought there's that bit more space than there actually was. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing another angle or 4 of that one, to be honest, just to make a real assessment of it. But either way, that doesn't retract Leebold's meatball, although does it look like he's carried on trucking regardless, so with 3 to go, he probably doesn't actually need to save that before the end, does he? And Kelly as well, we saw him for the meatball, but he's also still going and up into P6 now, and it's a P5 for Chalcraft as it stands, so overall P5 is great for him. That's put Malaren into a solid 4th now.
Yeah, Malaren somehow getting through all of that.
Yeah, sort of, if we think maybe it was the rejoin that was the culprit for that, he's actually got away scot-free, and his rival is meatball, but we're off the road there. Was that Todd dropping down there?
Yeah. Well, if he's meatballed him and he gets blamed for it, then he'll get a 30-second penalty, so... It's possible that Chalcraft and Kelly could be looking at 4th and 5th, no less.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, that's probably a good time to drop in considerations about the scoring for next season. What's been spoken about?
Well, it's still in the early stages, but looking at, rather than doing our complicated penalty points, still actually just redressing positions for these infractions that drivers are part of. And then looking also at the timing penalties, I think we need to change them because they're all the same for all 3 series, but the races are what, 20 minutes, 45 minutes and 90 minutes. So looking at kind of tweaking the penalties to be better suited to the series that they are applied in.
Yeah, sounds good. Of course, this is the first season of running the time penalties per race system, and we have typically only done that for the final race of a season.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Previously we had pit lane starts and drive-throughs and stop and goes.
Yeah, it's a ever-evolving system, isn't it? And that's potentially just going to be the newest, hopefully, tweak for the better in a long list of changes that have happened along the way. You can see the rear right damage on Leebold, it looked like, coming into Nelson there. It looked like his rear right is just like completely toe out. And, yeah, somehow he's still managing to keep it going and keep enough lap pace to hold the top 10 position, but he'll be gutted after that 4th place it was in, I think, was it, the time of contact.
Yeah, he's only lost the places he lost through the collision, but he is losing time, as is Kelly, as we look at Murphy taking the win.
Absolutely.
Followed by Parker, and the third on the podium will be Ward.
Surprising gap between Parker and Ward there. I guess after Ward lost Stevenson off his tail, he could probably relax a little bit, and there's Chalcraft taking home the silver win, with Kelly taking the bronze win just behind him there on the track. So Kelly was indeed able to finish that race despite the meatball. Looks like Leebold's going to do the same. As we've got Cook, Buller, Stevenson, and Leebold rounding out the top 10 there.
I do wonder
Well,
did Ward pick up damage or something, because you'd normally say he would be on pace, but I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, I can't remember from the early laps. There was a bit of nose to tail at points, wasn't there? But it didn't look like anything significant. But yeah, I agree, it's surprising to have seen him drop that much, but maybe with the battle with Stevenson, by the time that was done, he was happy just to consolidate and take the P3.
Totally possible.
It was Stevenson with the fastest lap there, you can see denoted by the icon in 9th position, so great drive for him. Shows he had the pace, and unfortunate with that little bump over the curb. Didn't really discuss that at the time. How did you see that incident?
I'd say that the curb seemed to contribute to the incident. Perhaps Ward could have left more space, but it's a split-second decision, and it is a tricky corner to pass into.
Yeah, and I guess the car on the inside is quite difficult to turn when it's in the air, so yeah, that was...
Yeah, I mean, he may have been going off regardless from that curb, and just the fact that Ward was in the way increased the amount of cars in the collision.
Yeah, indeed. So here's how they stack up the reverse grid then. So it's Buller taking the pole position, and of course the results went too fast for me to go through, but I got them on the second screen here. So it'll be Buller from Cook, Kelly from Chalcraft, it'll be Malarin starting next, then Ward, Parker, Murphy. Have I caught up yet? Almost. Stevenson from Leebold, Todd from Islet. These guys, of course, are just started in their finishing order from the last race. So Mark Kelly got some Kelly points to prove in this one from Bond, McIntyre, and Meisters. And Meisters will be hoping to close up that bronze gap in this race. And then it's Williams, Maxwell after that turn 1 incident in the first lap of the last race. Way down the grid, he'll be gutted for that. And then it's Forrester and White at the back end there.
Yeah, all
There
McLaren
we go then.
back row.
Yes, indeed, and again they'll be eyes forward hoping to make up some positions as we've got green lights in the sky and they're away yet again for race 2 here at Snetterton. Like a fairly good start for everyone. There's a lot of Audis towards the front here, so a pretty even pull for all of them. And it's Buller sweeping round to hold his lead into T1. Stablemate Cook behind him, and Chalcraft and Kelly, bronze and silver, up in P3 and 4 there, looking to make positions as Kelly sends it down the inside of Chalcraft. He's going to make this stick as well. That was absolutely great stuff. Chalcraft left in the room on the inside of the corner there that he needed. They're going to be side by side as they head towards Palmer Corner and then down towards Agostini, which is another left-hander, so Kelly's probably going to lose the momentum around the outside, and indeed he does. He's almost what we got. That is a Malarin sandwich with some aguri bread. I always get that wrong. But Malarin's absolutely not settling for that. He says, there's a gap around the outside. I fancy it. I'm now off the track. Has he lost a position as a result of that? It looks like he has. Maybe 2, in fact, because Ward's got past him as well. So Kelly up into P3. Great start for him so far. It's Chalcraft, Parker, Ward and Malarin. Of course, we've got Buller and Cook at the front. And already a 1.8 gap between second and third. So the 2 Llama stablemates are running away at the front.
They are indeed. Some excellent side-by-side racing there in the first part of this lap.
It's a good little section of track, that, isn't it, for some side-by-side. It's wide enough to make it happen, but also like it switches left to right to make the racing sort of just keep going on and on and on and on as we get into Murder Corner for the first time. Called tyres for, called brakes for everyone. Is everyone going to survive it this time? Kelly, good. Chalcraft, good. Parker, good. Ward, Millara in the air. Everyone looks to be through it. There's no one gone red on the standings board. And we've got 3 wide on the exit there, and someone's backed out of it. That's Maxwell, living to fight another day. Probably wise. As they head down through the bomb hole, around to Gorham, and it'll be Murray's to finish the lap for the first time. These two still side by side, going the left front. We're screaming, and we've got some contact in the background. Is that Meesters there with was it Todd across his nose? And we've got Parker's slow and dropping back there. We've got Stevenson making a move on Murphy as well. So it's Malone and Parker going side by side towards T1. We saw Parker get mullered by Murphy in the first race, and it's going to be Malone around the outside as well. So that's 2 for 2. Parker getting done in T1, but Malone's gone wide. And that has allowed Parker straight back through, and this is going to give Murphy a chance as well. And Murphy's going to send it 3 into Murray's, and they're just backing out. Absolutely, he was late on the brakes there, and that's going to allow Murphy to get past Malaren, it looks like there, as Kelly still holds on from Chalcraft in the foreground. We've got Malaren still on the inside of Murphy, neither of them giving each other any chance to run away with it. And they're going to stay side by side next to it as well. And meanwhile, Stevenson is rubbing his hands together, a smile on his face says, I fancy me some of that as well, boys. And Malaren has now got a new rival side by side to contend with. And that looked like a bit of contact on the exit, was it? Stevenson just speared across the road there.
Yeah, looked like a bit of an overreaction from the car, but there was contact. So somehow Malaren holds on.
What we got in the final corner? Whoa, Tokyo drifting there, so that'll be why Parker lost so much momentum. And there's that Ward off in sympathy behind him as well. There's going to be a screenshot in that somewhere, the 2 cars in tandem drift. And they replay that incident there. So yeah, Meester's just, he's about to go 3 wide around there, which, you know, again, it's another difficult corner, but I'm not sure if Todd was just drifting out on the understeer or if Meester's was just shoving his nose into a wedge. It was hard to tell on first glance there.
I would say it's lap 1, so maybe they could have been a bit calmer.
Yeah, there's probably a bit something luck or valour or something like that. I can't remember. Discretion and all that jazz, isn't it?
Indeed. Okay.
You can't win the race on the first lap, but you can certainly lose it.
So true. Still
is that a Murrayism? Is that a Murray Walker?
I don't know. I think everything
sounds like it should be.
Yeah.
Catching's one thing, but passing's completely different.
Wow. Buller has got a great opportunity here.
I don't think we're going to touch wood, commentator's curse. I don't think Buller's picked up a win so far, has he, since he joined us? So yeah, this is great to see him out in the lead, and it looks like he's gapping Cook by a long way, almost at 2 seconds now as well. So
I don't think we saw it, but Chalcraft is back past Kelly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, don't remember seeing it. So I wonder if it was through the twisties, maybe a bit of Audi Chundersteer perhaps.
Might get some stupid team orders at the moment. In a moment, sorry, as they are running line astern.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Parker's probably trying to fend off Murphy. It's reverse positions from the first race where Parker was passed by Murphy and then Murphy just drove away into the sunset. So I'm sure Parker will be keen to not have that happen again. Yeah, where are they? Yeah, goes just top a shot there as they go around Hamilton Corner. How do I know it's Hamilton?
It's the easiest one to see. And I'm going to call it Ogles.
And then Williams Corner, where we saw the Williams contact in the previous race. So yeah,
is that
a bit of
a driver called Williams, or are they talking about the team Williams?
You'd have to think it'd be the team Williams, wouldn't you? Or
there must
Frank.
be a driver called Williams. I mean, Frank did drive, I think, in the early days.
I mean, we've got the Bentley straights. That's sort of a nod to the time of the corners being named, I think, isn't it? So probably quite likely to be Frank Williams.
There's a Nelson corner. I really doubt that a British track would have a corner named after Nelson Piquet. Maybe it's Nelson the Admiral.
We've also got Bumhole, so you know.
Indeed.
So whilst we're rambling and I was staring at the track map rather than the action, it looks like everyone stayed just about as they were. There was quite a large air gap between the Aguras, so certainly no team orders on this lap, as Kelly is right up the exhaust pipes of Chalcraft heading towards T1 as the Aguras fan out, and it looks like Kelly's going to poke his nose, but might lose momentum on the exit as a result of it. Doesn't get the move done. Chalcraft turns in, And Bond here putting a bit of pressure onto Mark Kelly as Kelly's going to run a little bit wide. Bond's going to do the switchback. It's a healthy amount of curb. And looks like he's going to get that move done, and Maxwell's looking to capitalise on it as well as the door is opened by Bond. Maxwell switches back and probably going to get the better run on the exit and get past Kelly as well. They're going to be side by side still as they head towards the next corner, and Kelly's maybe actually going to hang this out. We saw Malari trying it. It was at the start of this race or the middle part of last race, but actually this time Maxwell is holding on pretty strong as we've got the Aguras side by side there in the live action down at the bottom left. Daniel Bond has got the move finished on Kelly. Kelly's held on from Maxwell, so good defence there from Kelly, only losing one position. Meanwhile other Kelly has lost a position too. Two positions in fact, because Murphy's got past as well. Just seeing that.
Yeah, Murphy hadn't, but he
oh
has now.
No! It's that Oggles corner again. It's bitten once again. That was Kelly, Mark Kelly across the nose of Maxwell. I was half glancing away as that happened. Did you see it? What happened there?
Replay.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, you need to see who drifted into who there. You can't really see from that angle.
Yeah, I was looking at the white line sort of to denote the edge of the track, and it looks like Maxwell was just moving to driver's right, whereas Kelly was following the white line sort of thing. So, yeah, I think that was Maxwell coming across just a little bit, which is unfortunate. Oh, a big slap of oversteer there. That's Liebold, isn't it, heading off the track there?
It is. Looks like he's made it back onto the track.
So that's more like the TCR lose that we used to see, isn't it, with the losing the car on the brakes. So we've got Parker on the outside of Chalcraft.
Oh, Chalcraft's off and he's losing it.
Oh, that's 2 races out of 2 that he's hit that curb.
Collects it up, but, you know, looks like Murphy had a bit of a fright there.
Absolutely, brown flag from everyone involved in that, I think. I'm not sure, was there a bit of netcode bump there between Parker and Chalcraft as the pass was made, or was that just the curb?
I didn't see it. It looked like that Chalcraft just collected a bit of curb like he did in race 1. He runs very wide.
The optimal racing line, keeping the momentum, you know.
Yeah, I mean, these two look pretty matched, Chalcraft and Kelly. Obviously, Kelly got past at the start, Chalcraft got back, and now Kelly's back on him again.
Yeah, absolutely. So that should be a good battle. And yet still Kelly maintains his bronze standing in this series, which is astounding. I guess the biggest question Kelly is considering is, does he get silver next season or does he get hopped all the way up to gold?
Well, it depends. I mean, we have a rating system, same as iRacing, so it will be a case of how far up he's gone up since the start of this season.
Yeah, indeed. See what the maths says. Although, of course, nothing certain about what cars are going to be run for next season. So, I guess, what would you anticipate the ratings looking like if we went to something rear-wheel drive instead? Do we still keep the same front-wheel drive rating system, or does it look more like the scores from the endurance, maybe?
I think we'd have to see what Mirror wants to do, if he wants to code anything new, or if we can use the endurance. Because we have a rating for the endurance for the GT3s. Probably could use that if we switch to something rear-wheel drive. Ooh.
Many things to ponder, not least the amount of front-end damage that has just happened to that car. Was that Todd or McIntyre? It was McIntyre. There we go. Just as I said it popped up on the screen there. So yeah, that is Murder Corner finally striking. I'm surprised we're not seeing more incidents like that throughout the 2 races, but that was probably about as big as it gets there.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people running still. Everybody's running in this race. Last race, I think it was just most of the race was Chris White was out. Yeah, everybody else managing to lap and get it round.
Yeah, absolutely. It was nice to see. We saw at the start it was a bit of a smaller grid this time at just 20 cars. I say just 20 cars. That would have been an absolute achievement in the first season to have had 20 cars on the grid. So if we're dipping to a lowest point of 20, then I think we're overall still pretty happy with that. But yeah, good to see almost 20 cars still running, as McIntyre is indeed in the pit. So hopefully just a quick repair and back out as they head towards Hamilton.
Good old Hamilton. I mean, I assume that one's named after the play.
Yeah, I mean, we're saying about the Bentley Straight being named, so maybe Williams being after Frank Williams, would Sir Lewis actually have been born at that point then? I doubt it.
I don't know when they named the corner Hamilton. I'm assuming they named it at some point after he got one of his 7 titles.
Yeah, true. Well, what do you think about that? So you've got a circuit and, you know, we're a traditional circuit and we're going to name our corners, but then you change the name of the corners. What's that all about?
I guess it must happen.
Maybe we need to do a history of Snet and find out what that corner was called before it was Hamilton.
I found out there used to be a track at Crystal Palace that used to do unofficial F1, F3 races. You can walk around it. It's like a historical thing. Yeah. I'll link you a video about it later.
Please do. Stick it in the description as well, so anyone else can watch it.
Will
How
do.
do you even find out about that? As we see Parker purple across the line as well, I just saw that light up like a Christmas tree, and Maxwell immediately takes it off him.
Yeah, pass the lap to Maxwell. It was in a work meeting, like just as like, what did you do this weekend? Oh, I walked around an old racetrack at Crystal Palace. Just
Sounds like a much better work meeting than any I'm ever involved in, so we'll swap jobs for a week.
What's going on here anyway?
There are cars racing around a circuit.
Well, Malarin was ahead of Chowcroft, right? No, Malarin was behind Kelly. Okay, yeah, so this is Kelly now going backwards.
Yeah, being done by 2 cars in a quick succession. Was that maybe a slowdown for Kelly then? Because he looked to have backed out that quite early on against Stevenson.
I think he's scared of Malarin.
Yes, yeah.
As any right-minded person is. Now he's got Ward behind him, so that's going to be quite a difficult car to keep behind.
Yeah, absolutely, but of course still leading the way in bronze by quite a large margin. It's broken up the battle that he was having with Chalcroft, but yeah, didn't see what led just up to that incident, sort of, you know, with Kelly losing the positions. But yeah, still a long way out in the bronze leaders. Ward did look to be shaping up for a move. Going into Nelson, Rundle, Nelson. One of the corners that leads into the other one.
Let's see if Chalcroft can hold off Malarin as well.
Yeah, it'd be good for him to get a top 5 again in this one. And yeah, there's quite a big gap between Malarin and Chalcroft at this point. So Ward is going. I'm saying it's Ward, isn't it? Where's the standard saying that that's Stevenson? It's definitely not. So we've got a transponder problem going on in the standings there.
Yeah, this is Ward now. And Buller and Cook really untroubled. Parker's setting fastest
it's the other
laps.
wizard. I was thinking we were looking at Ward behind Malarin, but it's Ward behind Maxwell, is it? No, what's going on? I'm so confused.
Ward is behind Kelly. Stevenson is behind Malarin. And Chalcroft's about to be getting attentions from Malarin. Meanwhile, Parker just set fastest lap and started to bring the gap down to Buller and Cook, but probably they are long gone.
I'm evidently having a moment there. I've got no idea what I was looking at.
Cars. You're looking at cars on a track.
Going round a track.
Fake cars on a fake track, pretending to be in England as Kelly looks to have gone wide and that's walked past.
Can I just stick a post-it note on my forehead that just says like out of office and just close my eyes?
We're nearly
bring
there.
us
There's
home.
only 4 laps left.
Longest 4 laps of my life. So yeah, Parker will be kicking himself that despite all the cars that he managed to pass to get into that position, Murphy managed to sneak through immediately on each of them as well. So yeah, it's Murphy's still in hunt mode, as, like I say, heading into the final 4 laps. Chalcroft holding off Malarin for now as well, but you'd probably expect that this group will lose time to Murphy in front, as Chalcroft immediately holds the defensive line down the left hand side. So what do you reckon? Can he do 3 and a bit laps of defensive driving and keep Malarin behind?
I think he can do it. I don't know if he will. No, he's got a good pace here. But Malarin, you know, he's always trying. And look at that, he's already having a look.
He finds a gap where there is no gap, and if there is no gap, he makes a gap.
Does seem to be the case, but not this time.
Yeah, it looked more like a distraction technique, that one, didn't it? Sort of showing the nose, trying to distract the person in front. Oh, there's a big slide on the brakes. Going into the final corner where he's there. Stevenson closes the gap on Malarin. So that will have hindered his straight line speed. And managed to pull it back in though, a bit of the Audi power and the draft from Chalcroft in front. But Maxwell looking on the outside of Liebold here, so that occasion, Maxwell just understeers a little bit, loses the momentum, Liebold holds on to it, heading down.
It's like, I was going to say Malaren, I could see him at Montreal up the inside of Chalcroft there.
Yeah, absolutely, exiting still side by side just about. Chalcroft looks to still have a nose in, so they'll be side by side. Around Palmer yet again, Malaren has been in this position once before and lost momentum as Stevenson going to try and chuck it 3 wide.
He is.
As it going down to Agostini, the staggered 3, Malaren's on the outside. Does he know the 3? Because he probably wouldn't have got the call. He turns in, he's got the position. Is Chalcroft going to lose 2? Oh, they're still beating and banging on exit. There's a car off to the right hand side. It's like watching the old 80s and 90s F1 when they just left the cars at the side of the road.
Chalcroft has held it. I thought he'd lost 2 there, but he held it.
Great hold around the outside there, and that's Ward now sniffing on the back of Stevenson to make it even spicier as they're heading down with 2.5 to go. But yeah, Malaren just shark attacked on Chalcroft, got the move done, and he will no doubt run away into the sunset. Already almost a second gap to Chalcroft there, so yeah, the added bit of battling. Chalcroft-Stevenson just gave Malaren a nice little air buffer. Heading down the straight though, of course, so there'll be some drafting benefit to the cars behind. Malaren's the one punching the hole now, so we've got a slow-mo Reaper. Look at the monkeys this week. Phenomenal.
Paying them too much. As, Eilert has made the move on Maxwell. Maxwell looking to come back at him.
Just holding my breath to see how that pans out. It's one of those really awkward wedgy corners, isn't it, where the car on the inside is almost certainly going to turn the car on the outside if there is any overlap as we're coming around. 2 laps to go. Bull has still got a significant lead. It says 2 laps to go, but then it's also just gone to a white light, so it might be on to the final lap. Who knows? Just a 10 out of 11 though, so it should be 2 to go. Stevenson still holding Ward back for now. Bit of curb bumpage for both of them. Good run for Ward. Can I do anything with it? Not this time. Good on the brake. Stevenson nips in for a sort of a diagonal entry. Ward takes a traditional late turn in. Late apex, good run out. This is a real concertina now from Malaren back to Ward. 4 cars in the scrap and any one of them could take the that 5th position for the top 5 result, couldn't they?
Yeah, or none of them, in fact. Depending on what happens.
glass half empty tonight, are we?
Yes. Yep, Maxwell and Eilert are still at it. What corner are they heading into there? Can't quite tell.
Hamilton, lovely.
I thought it was Spoon.
Lovely corner. Yeah, Maxwell will probably have had a bit more fun in this race than the last one, where I think he spent the entire thing lapping around by himself at the back, didn't he? After that contact, he's actually found some people to race with this lap.
Indeed, and he found a good exit there. Real traction off that corner.
Yeah, absolutely, and Eilert's still pinching him narrow, so probably will have just hindered Maxwell's run a little bit as they head onto the straight, but again, the Audi power normally tops out a little bit higher than all the other cars, so let's see how they're going to stack up as they head into left-hander of Brundle. It looks like Maxwell is just about got a nose in front. There's going to sweep down. They're giving each other plenty of room. It's lovely to see. Bit of curve for Maxwell, but unlike in the previous race with Stevenson, it wasn't too much curb. Maxwell gets the corner done and takes the position. Very nice, but what else is very nice is Clayton Buller with a... He's actually lost a bit on this final lap, but a 4-second lead across the line to take the win. Very nice. And oh, look at that for 3rd. Jeez. Cook in 2nd, nice result for him. So it was Parker in 3rd, just half a nose ahead of Murphy. We've got Malaren, Stevenson, Chalcroft again takes the silver win. Very nice stuff for him. Ward, Liebold, Kelly, bronze winner. And Maxwell takes her 11th after his shocking first race. That was an absolute frantic pair of races tonight.
That was indeed. And yeah, well done to Stevenson, just pipping Chalcroft on the line there by, was it 0.04, I think it was? 0.004 of a second, it's pretty close.
I think that's indicative of how close the racing's been throughout those two races tonight, hasn't it? That's just been bumper to bumper the entire way. Everyone finding a sparring partner, and yeah, there's some minuscule gaps across the line.
Good times. And there are all the drivers and their points.
Chat amongst yourselves. Yeah, you're right. It was 4,000 across the line there. So yeah, that's got to be a photo finish somewhere. So someone make that screenshot happen, please.
So where are we off to next? Silverstone, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, Legacy Silverstone as well, with a slightly more preferable sort of internal layout. It's got some penalties on screen, and Malarin was indeed judged at fault for, that must be the Liebold contact, was it? And Liebold himself get a penalty. What was that one for?
I believe that was for running back onto the track, not holding brakes.
Ah, yeah, which then meatballed Kelly, of course, didn't it?
Yeah, and Liebold himself, of course. Unfortunate there.
Yeah.
And then just a couple for race 2.
Yeah, Maxwell getting a 30-pointer, so we just saw him putting a brilliant move on towards the end of the race, and then it's taken away from him.
Oh well.
So here are the championship standings and the moves and shakers in green and red, depending on which direction they've travelled. So yeah, the gap at the top has closed up just a little bit. Brown has of course dropped a couple of positions because he's not here, so that's let Stevenson jump up. But yeah, Chalcraft a healthy lead in silver with Murphy not racing tonight, and Kelly. How many points does Kelly need to get to have wrapped this up? Because it's yeah, it's 100 and a bit now, which is quite a large quantity.
Like 250 available at the Red Bull Ring, I think, don't we? So I don't think he's quite there yet.
Yeah, must be closing in on it though, after you consider drops and all that jazz, which won't obviously have any impact at this point or next round, but from the following round onwards, we'll be on to best 7 scores from then, won't it?
We will indeed. If you don't beat your previous 7, then you won't score anything.
And we're of course not dictatorship enough to insist that you have to race all 10 races in order to put a championship together, because that is not feasible for most of us.
We understand people have lives.
There's more to life than iRacing. What?
Apparently so.
Forrester up at plenty of places up there. Obviously a lot of the people he's overtaken there didn't race tonight, but it's still good to see him climbing up the championship.
Yeah, he must have had a good race too, because he was last or second to last in race 1. Right?
Yeah, but with only 20 cars on the grid, it's still scoring points at this point.
That is true. So long as you take the flag, the green flag, you get points.
So yeah, these guys at the bottom, of course, looks like most of them have only raced once, and we of course didn't see them tonight, which was part of the contributing factor for Forrester gaining so many positions. But surprised to see Forrester so far down there, because he has raced a lot, hasn't he, in this season? So I think a few incidents that he's been caught up in, it's just hampered his title a little bit, which is unfortunate for him.
So it's still all to play for the Teams Championship.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of races where either of the top 2 teams' drivers haven't both attended. So I think at Road Atlanta there was only one Aguri, and I'm sure there was one occasion where Cook wasn't racing. So again, there's probably quite a low drop score for the 2 leading teams to consider by the time it gets to that point. But we'll know more about that near to the end of the season, won't we?
We will indeed.
Now it's just get as many points as you can.
Yes.
Armageddon showing on -4. Did Kelly not manage to get any points tonight to have gained that up? Surely he must have got something.
I would hope so.
Maybe
but maybe not.
Spank.
Or maybe the monkeys have been too busy with the
Yeah.
replays and didn't do the standings. Yeah, Cook also missed Atlanta.
Ah, interesting.
So neither he nor Kelly were there. It was just Parker and Ward. Anyway, here's our stuff, website, Discord, YouTube, and Facebook for some reason. I don't know why we still have that.
Everyone is on Facebook. Maintain everybody is on Facebook. Go on Facebook. Go and follow. What do you do on Facebook? Like it, I guess, don't you? Go and like the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Does any content go into that whatsoever?
Not that I recall anymore, but
Excellent.
who knows? It's there.
Maybe someone will find it and revive it and then turn it into a mecca of LOA content.
That's gonna happen. No, I think we should delete it. Yeah, anyway, Silverstone next.
We can't delete it because then we'd need a new stuff splash.
That thing is years old. Like, Jim made it. I think at some point we've got to change it. We've got enough people in the Discord. There's over 500. One of them must be a designer.
Dan Shaw, I'm looking at you. Help us out.
If he hears this, he's got to do it. That's the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Silverstone next. Looking forward to it.
Yes, I like Silverstone. It's a good track.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, make sure you you join us next time for that. You got any closing remarks? Remarks? Oh my goodness, I've just gone very posh style. You got any closing remarks before we rapidly
Sure.
say goodbye?
Bomb hole.
Bomb hole. On that gaping note, it's time to end the show. Goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
See you all next time.